to venture to guess that if you have clicked to watch this video, there's at least a piece of you that is not happy with how you are charging your clients for the services that you're offering. You believe that you could be charging more. You believe that you should be charging more, but there's something yet that is just keeping you from actually making that happen. And I'm here to tell you, yes, there is a reason. It's something that we all go through, and we gotta figure this out, because some people are able to figure this out and it helps them get past what feels like this struggle of pricing. And unfortunately, there's other people who don't work past this. And well, in that case, you may never end up changing your prices or actually charging what you ideally want to for your services. So let's talk about what that is. Now, unfortunately, the stories that we have learned about money growing up, the beliefs that we have formed throughout our life, and the stories that we continue to tell ourselves to this day are the biggest reasons why we do not change our prices. The reason why that if we try and we type in a higher number on that proposal before we send it off to a client, we get this knot in our stomach. We don't feel as good about it. Something just holds us back and say, no, not this time, maybe next time. And we just get held back from it. You see, these stories, some of them tell us that money is a bad thing, or that we shouldn't earn more money. Or these cause thoughts such as, I don't believe I'm worth it. Or who am I to ask for that much money? And yet we'll look over here and we'll see, well, that guy's charging what I want, or that lady over there is charging what I want, and it's working for them. They're getting clients at that price. But I don't think I'm there. I'm not worth it yet. I mean, clearly they are. They're, great. They do all this great work. Everything looks really nice that they do. So yeah, they're worth that price. But me, no, I'm not worth that price. And so we get into this little comparison cycle that it can be hard to get out of, because there's always somebody who's farther ahead. Just like you are farther ahead than, hey, that person who started after you did. So if you have that belief that you just aren't worth it. You see, you are tying the price that you're charging to you and not necessarily the value that you are offering or the type of work that you're actually doing for a client, or more importantly, the impact that that work can have on an actual business. So that really requires some internal reflection, unfortunately. Now, another big one is a money story where it comes down to what we ourselves would pay. If, let's say, we want to quote $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 for a website, really, you can insert any price and any service, it doesn't matter. But just for the sake of an example here, let's say that you are offering a $5,000 website. That's what you want. That's what you want to be able to work up to, let's say. If you yourself would never pay that much for a website or for a service, well, then you're going to struggle with being okay charging that for someone else. So see, that's something that we have to understand, that if we typically don't spend a lot of money or we don't tend to hire out, that does not mean that other people do the same. A lot of people see the value in doing that. They know that their focus needs to be on other important aspects of their business in order for it to really grow, or that they earn maybe significantly more money than you do perhaps. And so that frees them up to be able to do that, or they really understand that the work is an investment and that is going to pay for itself and plus some. So we have different beliefs about money than perhaps the client who is sitting across from us or who is on the phone. And so it can be hard to separate those beliefs. And when we hold our belief so strongly that, no, I would never pay for this, it is really, really hard for us to turn around and offer that to someone else. I can still remember the very first time I quoted a client $2,000 for a website. And then very quickly, they agreed to it. I could not believe it. Someone was actually going to pay me $2,000 for a website. I mean, looking back now, I'm like, well, of course they did. that was nothing for all of the work that I was going to put into it. It was definitely a bargain. There was no way that other people were stepping up to do it for less than that or even close to that. So it was definitely a deal for him. There was a lot of work that was involved. I'm too embarrassed to even share with you everything that had been included in that, because looking back, oh my goodness, that should have been worth so much more. But see, that was one step forward for me in working through my own money stories, my own money beliefs, and really understanding the value that I brought to the table and what I could really do for those businesses. But having that small step also allowed me to see that yes, there are clients out there who will pay, and just show me the possibilities. And sometimes that's what it takes, is having one client who just paid a little bit more than the last client, and then the very next client paying a little bit more than, well, that last client. And then it just continues to go from there. So while we spend a lot of time out there looking at what is everyone else charging, and why are they charging that amount? How are they getting to that number? How can we tie what we do into the value? How can we translate that value into our clients? And let me look for strategy, and this price, that price, this price. We have to slow down and stop for a bit and really look internally, and we have to reflect on what is the real reason. So the next time that you go to give a proposal to a client, whatever the number is that you put on that proposal, put the number 1 at the front of that. So if you were going to charge $500, put down $1,500. If you were going to charge $2,000, make that $12,000. Now, am I telling you to send it? No, you don't have to send it. Rather, I want you to sit with it, and I want you to look at it from 2 angles. One, how would it feel to actually go out and charge that? Imagine, sit there, close your eyes, imagine having a client who actually signed that proposal with that higher number. Imagine receiving that and seeing what that would feel like. Imagine that. But then also look at it from the other side. Hover your mouse over the send button. Imagine what it would feel like to send that off. And I bet you're gonna get a big knot in your stomach. It's not gonna feel right. And that's where I want you to pause, and I want you to listen to what is going on. What is the dialogue going on in your mind? What are some of the things that are coming up for you? And write those down. It is probably one glaring thing, maybe 2 at most, that is just really keeping you from charging that higher price. And so ignoring everyone else out there, ignoring everyone else's price, and just sit with what you come up with doing that exercise, so that you know that that's actually how you're going to figure out how to raise your prices and how to figure out how to be able to overcome this. Let me know down in the comments below if pricing has continued to be a struggle for you. I would love to chat with you more about this. I could chat about pricing all day long. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.